going on, everybody? Welcome to the Run Pure Sports NBA Hardwood Show. I'm your host, Mangone. I'm here with TitleTown. I'm here with the birthday boy, Big T. So it's his birthday, so we will celebrate that. He's not much of a birthday guy, but we got to give him the happy birthdays in the chat, so fire those away. Title, we'll go to you first. How's it going over there, man?
Oh, how do you go to me? I mean, I'm not the birthday boy. I got nothing to talk about. We got to throw it to the man of the hour. Let's just hear what he's got to say.
Oh, he's not a birthday guy, though. That's why I wanted to go to him second, but I had to announce it, right? The chat.
Put him on the spot.
What?
Put him on the spot. He's not a birthday guy.
I'm used to coming up with a two-hole anyways with all JSU shows. I'm just used to it. That's where I'm comfortable. I'm not a leadoff hitter. I'm more of a two-hole hitter.
Well, today there was a hit.
There's a guy on base, Title, because when that guy's on base, he knows a winner has to be delivered. That's when Tony shines. So
there was a hit by pitch, first pitch of the game. I got nailed. So quick over right to Big T.
All right. So
yeah, I mean, it's another day. Like Mangone said, not a huge birthday guy. Every 10 years I'll celebrate 30, 40, 50. After 21, they're all about the same. But it's good to be back in the winner's circle again today with you boys because we're going to win tonight. There's no doubt about that. There's nothing that could make the birthday better than us and some of our crew, the Run Pure crew, shipping tonight.
Yeah, we're going to be shipping tonight. I can't wait to ship. It should be a fun one. We have tons of stuff going on over here at Run Pure Sports. It's not just Big T's birthday, right? We got tons of stuff. If you check it out, we got some winners that we want to talk about over here at Run Pure Sports. Again, if you haven't signed up yet and you want to join the movement, use the code HEATER25 to get 25% off your first payment. We got Daniel Ramirez on Twitter. He's at KingHope_HS. He shipped a nice little 1.5K with a fifth place finish the other day. So I wanted to highlight that. We also got a little screenshot where there's $31 being played here for $10,286. Tons of money being won at Run Pure Sports. And Tony, I know you love that screenshot. The $31.50 into 10 sticks, right? That's a beauty right there.
I've said it every time. They're my favorites. Yeah, I like the six figures. I like all the huge ones too. No doubt, but they're a different kind when they're sure. The only thing that I would like more than the 30 into 10K would be the 30 into like 100K or something. But I mean, the small amount, that is what 95% of the people that are members at Run Pure and watching this show, I'm sure, almost everyone plays probably 20 to $100 a night would be, or less than that, like $5 to $100 a night or something. Is definitely the standard of who watches our shows. So I love to see that. It shows it can happen. I hate when nothing tilts me more than when people are like, oh, you only win because you enter $3,000 a night, or you enter $1,500, or you enter $150. Stop making excuses and pick winners. It doesn't matter if you're playing for $5 or $50,000. Pick winners. You're going to make money. Yeah, it's different proportions, but you never know when you could hit something. Over the years, we've seen people hit milli makers with one entry, $10 or $20. All you got to do is put time in, put some work into your craft, and pick winners. It doesn't. Stop making excuses. Pick winners. That it's as simple as that.
Yep, that's what we try to do. And I got to get on one chatter. I got to get on Justin, right? So Justin's giving me some crap because I don't know if you guys have looked yet. De'Aaron Fox is playing the Spurs again, right? So it's going to be a fun show. But Justin said, should we play Fox tonight? He's definitely, it's a jab at me. But Justin, you were in the chat touting Mitchell over Fox. And who did better? I'm not saying my guy was that great, but you can't come at me with the guy that you had 31 fantasy points and mine beat yours. You just can't talk. This is the time you got to sit in the background. You got to take it. Now, I can take it from Big T because Big T, what he said was he's not getting that 52. He's not getting the 60. I got to sit back and just take the L. You can't be out here, Justin, chirping when you picked Mitchell and he did not get there. Right, Tony?
I mean, I agree. I didn't. We made fun of the whole Fox thing, but you called it out too. You even called me out and said, oh, you want Mitchell? I kind of said, ooh, I don't know if I want Mitchell. I still owe title too, 100. We'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, I didn't want Mitchell. And then you doubled down on me and said you want Vooch. And I still was like, ooh, I don't know if I want Vooch either over Fox. So I agree with Mangone. It's like always. If you want to talk trash, get in there, back it up. Again, just like the entries, doesn't have to be for anything crazy, but get in there, put $10 on it or do anything just for fun to back it up. Mangone put the heat on, and yeah, Fox wasn't great. He did get lucky to get 43, but he got to the winner's circle over those other guys, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, speaking of dude who talks trash, right? Title's talked his trash and definitely has backed it up. And you won on your Robert Williams bet the other day. That was a close one.
That's why I respect Title. I've always loved Title because he puts the cheese up. Doesn't matter what we're doing. You put the cheese up. We've had a few battles over the top. You put cheese up, and that's how you settle it. And then you go on. Maybe down the road you do another one. I mean, it's just the same thing with the golf bets. Bryson versus whoever, the Morikawa, these donkeys. I got more cheese coming this week from Bobby Gomes because these guys are donkeys. But they put the cheese up. That's how you settle arguments.
Yeah, and speaking of the golf, we'll definitely be next week is the Masters, right, Tony? You'll be returning with the show. You'll be shipping the millie, right?
I don't know about shipping the mill. I hope so, but going back to back would be quite fun. But I mean, can we run the party back if it happens again?
Oh, well, I'm down to run it back.
Back. Just everybody comes, the exact same thing, the same next weekend. Run the rematch first title.
I'm in. Let's do it. Now you just got to win it first, though. That's the tricky part.
In all seriousness, though, next week is going to be freaking amazing. We got baseball starting now and the Masters. I mean, again, same thing with the buy-ins, but there's a $100 millie maker and a $10 millie maker and a big millie maker, 44, or whatever it is. 3 different millie makers, all different price points, and it's the Masters. I don't even care if you don't like golf that much. We got good content. The Masters week is always great sports. I don't care how much you like golf. So
yeah, I mean, I don't watch any golf all year, but I mean, it's the Masters. It's just like Final Four, the championship, the World Series. I mean, there's something different about the Masters. You bet I'll be throwing tournaments in. So check out the content. I mean, I don't know anything about golf. You just read it, Core Plays Playbook, and they'll find the winners for you.
Yep, we'll definitely be doing it. I can't wait. Should be a fun week. Use that code HEATER25. You only got till tomorrow, right? We got a baseball show. If you don't know, we have baseball content. It is going to be coming, and we're going to have shows every single day, right? We're not going to be disappearing. We're going to have more content for you guys. TitleTown, you'll be on the show with Draft Cheat and Holden tomorrow at 11 a.m. So there'll be a show then. Hit that like, hit the subscribe on the video right now. You know why you got to subscribe? So you can check out Title tomorrow at 11 a.m. He'll be talking opening day with Holden and Draft Cheat, and we will have shows every day for you when it comes to baseball, basketball. So don't worry, we have you covered there. Also want to mention, we started up a partner with SuperDraft, or partnership with SuperDraft. And all you got to do is use the code RUNPURE to sign up. You get a $100 match deposit bonus. And the one thing I want to talk about with SuperDraft today is they lock at 7:30, right? So if you're someone that you like that 7 o'clock lock, right? You want to get all your teams in on FanDuel and DraftKings, and then you get 30 minutes to figure the rest out. Head on over to SuperDraft, sign up over there, run pure as the code, and then make sure to get in those contests. We have on our core plays, we have a SuperDraft section. You can use the link in the core play section over at Run Pure Sports. So again, get in on the SuperDraft stuff. It starts at 7:30 lock, not a 7 o'clock lock. That's for you guys to be able to get in so you can take care of your DraftKings stuff, button all that up, then head on over to SuperDraft and then grab some more winners over there. And again, we have core plays for you over here at Run Pure Sports. So check those out. All you got to do is scroll down. You'll see all the winners, right? The Big T's winners, JSUs, APs, all great. Just scroll down a little more and you'll got APs winners. Bobby Gomes got some stuff in there. There's tons of stuff for you over here at Run Pure Sports. And Tony, I know you're not a big SuperDraft guy, but we can always mix the workbench play of the day probably on SuperDraft, right? You could probably always put that in there.
Absolutely. And it's still the same type thing. I mean, just because it's a different format doesn't mean the same plays are still going to be in play there, especially because you can play whoever you want. So sometimes the cheaper workbench plays will definitely be 2x on SuperDraft. So super easy to go there. Sometimes it might be a little different, but it'll apply. And just one more thing too. We got our boy Big Dick Nick from the other night shipping those tournaments. Yesterday we forgot about it because we got sidetracked with Mangone doubling down on the Eiffel Tower play, which was awesome. But we forgot to pick a winner. So what we're gonna do? He was nice enough and good mojo enough he wants to put someone in this 222 tomorrow for baseball opening day. So throughout the show, we're gonna keep our eyes on the chat, and I don't know what it's gonna be. I mean, who knows what'll catch our eye? But we're gonna pick somebody to get that 222 seat from Big Dick Nick. And you never know when we'll give other seats too. But one thing I can promise you, Matt P715, by saying Big T, you should stake me in the golf millie, buddy. asking to be staked is not how you get staked from me. You got to have good mojo, bring good energy, good takes, and then who knows? Sometimes you blow me away and I give a little something away, or the boys give something away. But we're for sure giving away that 222 seat. And whoever did that last time, don't post the same comment 19 times, because you might be the winner the first time and not realize it. But once we see that winner in there for the 8th time, then sometimes it gets null and void. You can't keep spraying it in there.
Yeah, definitely don't keep spraying in there. Pick your spots with it. We got Joseph Hamilton said, who all does the cash chart? Because that absolutely crushed for me last night. I do the DK one title. Did you do the FanDuel yesterday, or was it Hoop? Who was on that yesterday?
Yeah, I've done the FanDuel this week, but Hoop mixes it in with baseball and NBA coming up too. It'll be one of us three will be on every cash chart on both sites for all sports. So, I mean, we play all the action, play on both sites. You're in good hands.
Yep. So Joseph, let us know who it was. I want to know, was it me or Title? Who's the one to give all the credit to today? But I will say, when people ask sometimes, they're like, who's on it? Like Hoop or Title? Like, listen, me, Hoop, and Title, we agree on a lot of stuff, right? Like if I'm not there, like doing a cash chart and Title is, like, I have perfect, like, I think it's okay, right? I think Title, it's in good hands. He'll take care of it. Hoop, we all like kind of agree with each other for the most part. So that's why Big T loves getting on us a ton for being the cash donkeys. But Tony, I do want to say this again. I feel like the cash chart, we don't talk about it enough. And the one thing to say is, when you're playing your core plays, it's a great way to mix stuff in with your teams. I know we talked about it the other day, but I think it's a good thing to bring up one more time.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a great for fillers, even if you're in tournaments, without a doubt. I mean, you're not going to go wrong ever with it. So if the worst thing you can say is that you're too chalky, that's never going to hurt you. Like, it might not get you all the way to the top of the charts, but the goal is to make money. That's the deal over the course of the season. And by putting plays from that cash chart in there, like, it's never going to hurt you ever, ever, ever. If a dude is on there, I see no issue whatsoever with it.
And you brought up a really good point yesterday. I mean, for tournament players to get different, you log into the cash chart, you see 3 chalky cash cores, and there right away you can pick. Like yesterday, I had like one of them was PJ Washington. He was like 85% or something. Yeah. It's so easy to fade an 85% PJ Washington who locks at the first game, backload later, you wait for news, and then you land on someone else that smashes. So you use it as cash if you want to get chalky. Then you can fade the cash chart in tournaments because you don't want all the chalky guys. So it's somewhere I would start all my research on both in any sport on both sites with, just so you know where the slate's trending for chalk.
I agree too. Like, and I said it yesterday, the good example, like Title just said, if you get to the end, because I've been playing one team all year. Everyone always says you can't play one team. I play one team, and I've been crushing all NBA season. Yeah, I put 150 in the small one on FanDuel, but that's just literally just to have fun and get better multi-entering. I play one main team, almost everything, and even Title, I talked to him about MMA doing that. But if I have my one team and I go to that cash chart and all my plays are on the cash chart, I know I might be slightly too chalky. Like, you got to have, at least if you're a tournament player, again, you got to know what you want to do. If all my plays are on that chart, I know that I am probably too chalky for my one tournament main team. So it helps me for that too. Maybe like Title said, I get to the end, I see PJ Washington, and then I see a pivot, whoever it is that night, someone in the same range that's not on the chart at all. That could be my pivot for the night, and I'm different right there.
Yeah, we also got the playbook, which gives you great game-by-game breakdowns, gives you ranks of players. So we have all the content you need at Run Pure Sports. Darren Grove says, been a member for about 3 weeks now, never cashed so often, always followed up by a workbench session for the culture. That's always approved, right, Big T?
I'll tell you what's approved is anyone like this dude in the chat that wants to bet Utah over Denver, please slide into my DMs, because I will gladly take all Utah versus Denver bets. Please slide in.
I kind of agree. I think I'm on the Nuggets side.
Whoever's not, please slide in.
Title, what about you? Are you a Nuggets or Jazz?
I hope
Obviously,
Title likes Utah. Please give me some Title bucks.
No, I'm not. Yeah, I can't give them all back to Big T.
I need to get some revenge. Tell me you like the Jazz.
No, Jokic is the best player on that floor, and I mean, I'm not as confident. Like, you have them winning it all now, don't you? You like the odds. You have them.
They got a good chance.
Yeah, I'm not that far yet, but I mean, for the price, it makes sense. I'm not Utah over them though. Utah's they're a regular season team. Maybe Phoenix maybe I would get down on that one.
Definitely, you can have that. We can definitely pull that one off too.
I'm not making it yet, but I am higher on. I know Hoop doesn't like Phoenix. A lot of people don't like him in the playoffs, but I'm a believer in CP3. People forget about his injury game 6 when they had the Warriors on the ropes. CP3. But yeah, I mean, people say he's not a winner and never this and that, but
yeah,
I'll keep you updated on that.
It's tough though. I can't go out yet and say Suns over the Nuggets, but I'm interested. I was definitely someone I said the Suns were going to be a home court advantage team, and some people were saying I was crazy, and they're definitely been impressive. I got to bet on them to win a division too, so hopefully that can come through.
I'll give you guys some action that they don't win a series in the playoffs if you guys win. Whoever they play, I'll just take that they don't win that first round.
You don't think the Suns will even win the first round?
Yeah, I'll take that.
I mean, I would take that. Is there odds here?
They're not going to beat the Lakers, Clippers, or Nuggets. I should look at the matchup before I say it, but they're not going to beat those three for sure. So I don't know.
The Suns are the 2 seed, Tony.
Yeah,
so.
It's going to be 2.
Yeah, let me look at the standings real quick. That's the funniest part about what we do is I swear I haven't looked at the standings all year. I have literally no idea. I've played NBA every single day the entire season, followed it as close as anyone. I have literally no clue the standings right now. I couldn't tell you anything about it.
You know, the Spurs are like in the playoff race pretty deep. Like they're doing.
I literally couldn't tell you. Like,
yeah.
And that just shows we don't, as a DFS player, you don't care who wins that.
Yeah. I could have got in trouble there. Look at the bottom of these standings. Woo!
Well, I did say yes because I knew, but
I mean,
I should win in trouble. That's why I said it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I just realized that the only 3 teams that I don't think, like, I would take them over Utah, or I would take Utah, I guess, too, over them. But really, the only 4 teams that I think are clearly better than them, they won't play. They might win that first game. You guys are right.
I feel great about the first round. Second round, you're right. I want to see the matchup for sure. I'm not saying they're.
Look at those teams at the bottom. Like, there is no one down there. Man. I don't even like Portland all that much. Like I guess it's a 5-horse race, and
I got Portland. Fallick was all over in preseason, so I tailed them on a future. And I do like the Norman Powell. I mean, they're getting healthier in pieces, but Canner and
fine. I think they're fine. I just can't picture them like winning the whole thing. But
I do think it's more open than people think this year. I mean, the Nets definitely, but I think the West with so many unknowns and injuries, I'm excited for the playoffs, but I'm also excited to finish the regular season. Gotta love NBA.
The best too is we get that playoff this year, right? We sort of had it last year, but we get that like the 7 plays the 10, right, and the 8 plays the 9 in a little series.
I don't quite even understand. Like, is that what it is? 7-10 versus 8-9. It's like only one game though, or something, and then they play again.
I think it's is it a 3-game series title? I thought it was a 3-game.
I haven't looked into it too much. I haven't looked into it too much either. I don't know.
I don't even quite like get what it does because those teams at the bottom don't really even matter. I guess it just gives the top teams a little more rest or something. I don't know.
I think it also they did that bubble thing and everyone loved those games having those like play.
I think that was more just we didn't have like that much sports going on and stuff though. Like I don't care if Dallas plays Memphis or something to get in the thing. Like I don't care about that.
They're not going to pull a UCLA and be dancing in the Final Four after a little Force 4 appearance.
I should tell this story too because that's what we do on this show. So someone in my survivor pool, you guys were both in it, I think.
Yeah.
Had maybe the worst thing I've ever seen in a survivor pool. I like literally want to puke for him because it's just the worst. As gamblers full time, like you just cringe at stuff like this. Okay, so it was down to 5 people, and there's a tiebreaker, like your seeds, as you guys know, but the listeners, you get a seed for if your seed wins, like you get more points, and that's the tiebreaker. So the dudes in the top 3 spots were clearly 1, 2, 3, and if everyone loses the same round, it goes to top 3. The top 3 get paid. So if everyone busted last night, the 4th and 5th guys obviously get nothing. They get 0. And after the first game, nobody picked Gonzaga because you get until game time to lock it in. No one picked Gonzaga, and the top 3 guys didn't have UCLA left. So you knew for a fact they were picking Michigan, like 100% fact. If you're in 4th and 5th place, the 3 people ahead of you are picking Michigan, 100%. So they both had Michigan and UCLA left. They both could have picked UCLA. And the dude in 5th, to take it even further, had no teams left besides Michigan and UCLA. So obviously going into it, I just know for a fact one of them is going to pick UCLA. For sure the guy in 5th is going to. So they all 5 picked Michigan. The dude in 5th picked Michigan. If he picks UCLA, and there was like a 21, 22K pot, if the dude just picks UCLA, he literally knows he's going to win 21K. He can even hedge and bet Michigan for like 5 or 10K. I just couldn't believe it. So after all that, the dudes in 4th and 5th end up busting and getting nothing, all because of just simple game theory. Like, oh man, it makes me sick to think about it.
That's what we talk about, like DFS and C-close swapping in college basketball finals.
Yeah.
I mean, you only need it to work once. Otherwise, you literally have a 0% chance. So, I mean, hey,
even
that's
if
what
Michigan wins, he can't win the pool is the craziest part.
Yeah.
He's got no teams left. It's just sickening. I hope the guy doesn't know. I'm guessing he probably doesn't even know what happened.
I doubt it.
But if he knew that he would win 21K or 22K if UCLA won, and that's all that had that. Yeah, we all probably thought Michigan would win, but it wasn't out of the realm of possibility that UCLA could win. And oh man,
I mean, even if it's the best team in the NBA against the worst team in college basketball, if you have 0% chance, you
take it.
You have to.
I mean, it just literally blew my mind.
It's better than drawing dead, right? I mean, no one wants to.
And it wasn't like it was like it was a
6.5,
7.5.
I think.
Like UCLA could easily win. It had nothing to do with me, and I was just sick. Like I just couldn't believe the guy was that big of a donkey. Hopefully he's not watching, but I couldn't believe he was that big of a donkey.
I hope he's watching. You know why? He'll learn from this. He'll hear this, and then he'll be better the next time.
No, sure. He's going to be very upset if he's watching this. Oh man. Whew.
All right. Well, we've told a ton of stories. K Falik hasn't gone on us yet to talk about the games, but we will start talking
because we made fun of his joke. He used that joke every day for like 4 months. He had to retire it.
Yes, he did.
He sent me these charts today too. He sent me, like, we always talk about chart man he had like different colors on them today, and like the charts have expanded to colors now.
Hey, the charts will be on with JSU and Holden tonight, breaking it all down.
Is he going on there?
Charts, they'll be there.
Love it.
So check out K Falik and all the charts. Let's go and dive in and start talking about these games. Title, it's a big slate though, right? Give me your slate overview. How are you handling this massive slate tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a massive slate, but it's very condensed on a few teams because of injuries. Utah is going to be popular without Donovan Mitchell. Toronto's going to be popular without Kyle Lowry. Harden's going to be one of the best he's the top spend up on the slate, going back up against his old team in the Rockets. I think it's a pretty clear cut slate for cash wise and where the ownership's going to go, but we still have a little news to wait on and stuff. But I'm excited to hear what BigT has to say because it's a really good tournament slate. A lot of low owned plays on this massive slate with so much ownership going a couple spots.
Yeah, BigT. I got some tickets tonight, right? I got the slam entries, I think, on FanDuel. I got 6 of them. So how am I taking on all the tournaments tonight? I want to take it down. I want to have all the winners. Give me a little slate overview in tournaments.
Yeah, I mean, all these big slates, I'm pretty much always going to say the same thing, just to take a stand and go with it, and just whatever your approach is. Yesterday, we talked about the Clippers news. We got halfway home. I thought it might be opposite, but one of them still sat. All those value guys still crushed. So I think we gave pretty good advice yesterday, and it looked like it because the logos were, once again, all littered all over the top of the leaderboards. We didn't get all the way. I mean, maybe a couple people got all the way to the top, but for the most part, everyone was printing money with that. Tonight, again, go through, and there's going to be pivots. I mean, you look at some of these top plays, you can definitely – it's not like the obvious Westbrook spot. Like, I mean, Harden is a really good play today, but you can make a case to get off it just for a total blowout and stuff as we get into this.
Yep, we'll get into it. We got about almost 800 watching. We got 255 likes. So, guys, get those likes up. Hit the subscribe. We got to the 5K, so our producer's happy. Hit those likes, though, because we are going to be giving away a ticket from our boy, Nick. He is Big Dick Nick. He won the nice little contest, and he wants to give back, right? So he's giving away a $222 entry. We're going to give it away to one of the chatters throughout the show. So hit the like, hit the subscribe, and we'll also be giving away that gear. So let's dive in. Let's talk about these games. First one up, we got – I lost it here. I lost my place. There we go. First game up, we got the Blazers and the Pistons. It's a 7 o'clock game, and this is definitely one to talk about here, right? Blazers are defense we want to attack, and the Pistons, they've been playing these guards pretty heavy minutes, but they also can do some wonky things at times, right? You can see them all of a sudden just pull, save, and leave for a Corey Joseph. Title, are these Pistons guards actually safe here against the Blazers?
I think Saban Lee at 4.3K and Diallo at 4.6K, you can make a case for them. I think they're solid plays against this a defense we like to pick on. The thing is, though, there's a couple other spots that we like a lot more with some better value that locks later in the day. So you don't have to lock a game right away at lock. So on FanDuel, I'm for sure going to have none of them. They're all priced up, both teams, easy fade there. DraftKings, it would only be Diallo and Saban Lee. I lean Saban Lee, $300 price decrease. He's a good basketball player when he gets the minutes. He isn't afraid to shoot, has the ball in his hands a lot, but it's only him and Diallo on DraftKings. Otherwise, a pretty easy stay away game.
Yeah, Tony, I'm going to go to you. So, again, 7 o'clock lock, right? Is it a night where you're going to backload more? We got the Blazers, who are a team that I love to attack, and we got some guards that have been playing some heavier minutes and have put up some pretty big scores.
Yeah, I mean, Portland's been a team we've tried to pick on. I just don't know. Like, Detroit is a team, for the most part, I've just tried to stay clear of. I don't mind these two guys like you guys are talking about with Saban and Diallo, especially Diallo. I mean, they traded for him. Maybe they want to get him a little boost in there, but they're not like crazy cheap. I mean, when they're at 46 and 43 on DK, I mean, like I always say, you're going to need them to be in the 30s for that price point in tournaments. And yeah, I mean, they could definitely get there against Portland. I definitely don't think they're bad. Like if they were on last night's slate or something, I think they'd be way more in play and way better plays. It's a massive slate tonight. I mean, do I really want to lock Hamidou Diallo in at the 7 o'clock game and just take my chances with it? Because teams like Detroit, I will never be surprised if he just randomly plays like 17 minutes or something one game. And he could get in fouls. Lots of different things could happen, but they are good plays. I mean, they're in there. You can definitely use them as fillers, and I don't hate it if you end up there. But the Portland side, I mean, these prices are going to just keep feeling too high to me until they come down. I mean, I'm looking at FanDuel to see if any of them are cheaper there.
They're even more expensive over there.
I mean, 95 for Dame. No way I'm doing that. CJ 8, that's too high. Covington, Canner with Nurkic back. I mean, they might be the easiest fades on the slate when you factor in that it's a 7 o'clock game. I mean, just no consideration to Portland.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't think I want to be touching Portland here. Just no thanks. Dame's usage has gone down. I don't need to go there. I also don't think these Pistons, you can mix in the Saban Lees and the Diallos, but they're not priorities on this slate. You can consider them though. Let's move on over to the next game. We got the Miami Heat. We got the Indiana Pacers. 218 total. TitleTown, I'll go over to you. Not a game that I really love, and I think it's one I'm just going to maybe full on fade. Again, another 7 o'clock game. Feels like I can just go on to some later ones. There's better value. How about you?
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't have too much interest in these early games, and we are waiting for some pretty key news. We have John Wall questionable. Oladipo's already out, so Kevin Porter become a good play, and some of these other guys. Jaylen Brown's questionable. Zach LaVine's questionable. So there is news that we are waiting on. I don't feel the need to lock myself into anyone in this game. If you want a contrarian stud in tournaments, Jimmy Butler or Bam, 8.8, 8.2. I limit myself to just one of them. Prefer Jimmy, but it's not a game I'm going to target.
Yep. Big T, same for you. I just don't think this is a game that you're touching. It's not one that I don't think I'm touching. How about you?
I mean, I agree with Title. I think these two guys are definitely – I've said the same thing about Jimmy for like the last month, where every night we kind of say he could be a sneaky tournament play, and then he goes for 55 or 60. No one played him. I don't think I've ever played him. And he's crushed so many different games. Bam, you got an athletic big against Indiana, which we've targeted. So I think these two guys should be more in play than they are. And I've said that every single slate since probably 2 months ago. Like, they're always good plays. I never play them. And a lot of times they do crush. So if you want a contrarian guy to fill in to be a little different when you're on your chalky team, I think both of these guys are definitely in play at under 9K. I mean, Jimmy Butler under 9K, he's got an onslaught of 50-plus point games, which is what we want in this price range. Bam, same thing. I think tons of upside. And then Indiana at full strength here, I just can't imagine playing any of them. I mean, how could you place a bonus at 94 over Jimmy and Bam at way cheaper than that? I just can't imagine. Brogdon's too expensive with LeVert in there. The thing that I think we do good at Run Pure is a lot of places will go through and talk about everyone with their projections. I think you can literally just punt a lot of these teams right out of the player pool, just no consideration. It happens a lot to me too, where we'll get a question in Discord, and this is how much I block them out. Like, I won't even know those guys are on the slate. Like, that's how much they're out of my mind. I don't even know they're there.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I do think that sometimes people, they put questions in the chat and they're guys like no one's considering. I don't know how to answer the question sometimes. I look at it, I'm like, I don't even know. I didn't know they were even playing or in consideration today. So I agree with you there. With Jimmy Butler, is TJ Warren in the is he on the bench today? Because
if he is, we better play Jimmy. Can you imagine them barking back and forth with him on the bench?
That would be great. So I was actually just thinking that through. I was like, oh, this is the TJ Warren game where Jimmy Butler's supposed to go off on him because those dudes do not like each other. But I don't know. And again, if you're a narrative guy, sure, you can maybe get on that, but I'm not sure if he'll even be there.
I want to correct myself quick. I saw in chat, Jaylen Brown is actually playing. He was questionable when I did the show earlier with Holden Monkey Knife Fight. I missed the news. So thank you, chat. Always on top of it. He is playing, but we still have Wall. We still have Levine questionable. So same point. You don't need these 7:00 games.
Yeah, I think that came in kind of recently. Also, we got Landry Shamet got rolled out, which isn't really massive, right? So not too worried. The Jaylen Brown stuff happened 30 minutes ago, right? So while we're basically on the show or just started.
Yeah, I see.
Wouldn't worry too much. But though he is in, so that's going to obviously affect the situation a bit. We got Jeremy Lamb is also a game time decision, and Doug McDermott expected to play. So does that change anything for you guys? I don't think it does, but Big T, anything for you?
I mean, it definitely does. I already didn't like it, and the more bodies in there, the less I'm going to like it. So, yeah, Indiana on an 11-game slate, Indiana is not where I want to be.
All right, well, let's see if you want to be in Brooklyn with the Houston Rockets and the Brooklyn Nets. We got the Harden revenge game against Houston, the Wall revenge game against Brooklyn, which should be a fun time. We're waiting on some news with Christian Wood. Big T, I'm going to go to you first. Are we going to Brooklyn today with that 231 total?
So this is where it gets interesting in tournaments because I mean, yesterday we said like one of the only times all year on the show we've said like there's literally no way you could fade Westbrook, and he still came in like 60% in some stuff, which is just absolutely outrageous. Harden is not, he's going to get the same attention as Westbrook did, but there's a lot more paths where he doesn't hit a ceiling in this game. I think his floor is safe, but Houston is horrendous. Like they are terrible, especially if Wall somehow doesn't play. What did you say the update was on him? We don't know.
He's questionable, and Oladipo's out.
I mean,
we don't know Wood, right? Wood could possibly sit correct title.
I think Wood's he's probable. I think With
okay, I must have missed that, but
I mean, either way, there's definitely paths to Harden not completely breaking it. Like at 11K, 10.9K. I mean, if he gets 60 and you faded him, that's fine. Like it's not. You're just when you fade him, you're fading basically that 70+ game. Where I don't think he's a lock to get over 70 versus Houston. I don't. I think he's the best play on the slate easily. I think when you're playing cash, these guys will have him in their core. I mean, they can correct me if I'm wrong, but he's going to be in the cores for cash. He's a great play. He sticks out for a reason. He said some things about Houston before he left, blah, blah, blah. He's a great play, but I do think you can fade him in tournaments, and I think you can play some of these other guys. We can go back to our boy Claxton in this spot on the Brooklyn or on the Houston side. I think it gets pretty interesting actually against Brooklyn, who doesn't play any defense. I mean, you look at some of these guys. I'm pulling up the thing, but
while you're looking, I'm getting slammed by chat today. The All-Star break. Depot's on Miami. He's not even on Houston. I was hoping one of you
I didn't even hear you say Oladipo.
And because like Tony said, I didn't even hear the Oladipo thing either. The chat kills me though. So there's like 10 messages of Oladipo to Miami. Like the one doesn't.
I didn't know what they were even talking about.
No, that's on me. I deserve it. No, I thought I missed.
What did you even say?
I said if John Wall's out too, Depot's out, so Porter, all the other guys. I was still saying he's on Houston, so there's even bigger boost there. Chat, you definitely have all the privilege to get on me. I might need to call the bullpen. JT, someone.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Sometimes we look at the list of like, well, I know what I do. I pull up the roster each time, and if they're not on the roster, you just assume they're out that night.
I was looking at the injury report, and I mean, my brain thought he was on Houston, so no excuses. That's my bad.
That's fine.
But I mean, these Houston guys versus Brooklyn are in a sneaky spot too, where like Wood, if he plays against, he's let me down a bunch though. Let me click on this dude. Man, he's hurt my feelings a little bit lately, but he's in a good spot against Brooklyn. People keep pounding these skilled bigs like Wood against them. Kevin Porter Jr. looks like a very, very strong play tonight. He played 30 and 36 minutes. And now he gets the good matchup versus Brooklyn. So I definitely think you can go with a guy like Porter Jr. I don't know. I mean, this is obviously a great game. If it stays close, Harden will get you probably 80 plus. I mean, he's going to go totally off. They're saying now T-Mac is out too. Funny stuff. But, yeah, I mean, I think you can pivot off Harden if you want, though, for sure. He's not a lock like Westbrook was yesterday.
All right, Title, heading over to you. Is Harden a lock for you today? Is he someone that you want to be jamming in your lineups, or is he someone that you can maybe pivot away from for some other stars?
Yeah, in cash games, I have a hard time not playing him. He's on the cash chart. Give a freebie away to all the people since I did mess up. He is a core play in green right now. I know that doesn't say much, but he's the best play, best spend up on the slate. Not even just for the revenge narrative, but he's just been so good on this team. Triple-double upside. Tournaments, yeah, listen to Big T there. I won't have too much of a take on that. You can always fade in tournaments. Cash, great play. As far as Houston, Kevin Porter, 5.5 on FanDuel, 6K on DraftKings. He has more upside if Wall is out too, but even if Wall is in, I think he makes a lot of sense. He's a really good player like we talk about. His price came down from where it used to be. It was in the mid 6Ks, low 7Ks. So I like him for this price. He's athletic. He's a shooter. Shoots a lot, so a lot of upside at that price. Other than those two, though, it's not a game I'll have much interest in. Better spots on the slate with Toronto and Utah.
Yeah, Tyler Robertson has a question in chat titled, does Harden play for Houston still? He wants to know that.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I deserve all the flack on that. Depot hasn't played for Miami yet, and I come on the shows like Big T. I go right before the show. I don't look as much. I talk it through. I deserve it all, though. That was pretty bad.
Hakeem Olajuwon in the court today.
Yeah, I mean, the chat's going to be on me. I might have to just close out of YouTube. I don't know.
Tyler, you would know if you listened to that Victor Oladipo press conference, right? That's how you would know.
That is one thing you will never catch me doing is researching press conferences. But maybe I should.
Had to bring that full circle. So there we go. But it's a great game to get exposure to, right? Big T, give me your favorite play in that game. Is it Harden? I mean, no, it sounds like lame, but would it be Harden or would it be a ball?
It's a complex question. If I play Harden, I'm for sure going to run it back with Porter. I'll tell you that much. I mean, just as far as a play, I like Porter a ton. I mean, I like Harden, obviously, but give me Porter for a guy that I feel very, very good about.
All right, good stuff. I like Wood, definitely. I think that the Nets just been keep getting killed by bigs. So that's one of the run backs I would be looking at personally. What's your run back title? Who would it be?
Yeah, it would be Kevin Porter because of the price. I will say Christian Wood's price on FanDuel at 7.7 and being center eligible, it'll keep his ownership really low. So I like him over there more than on DraftKings where he's 8.3.
All right, let's go on and talk about the Dallas Mavericks and the Boston Celtics. Big T, I'll head on over to you. 222 total. Expected to be a close game too. Celtics are 1-point favorites here. Are you playing Luka? Are you playing these Celtics? What are you doing here?
So you guys said that Jaylen Brown was in, like as we were starting the show?
Yeah, he just got rolled in.
Yeah, so that pretty much takes all of the Boston guys, I mean, no, you could definitely play Time Lord again, Robert Williams, after he won title Hundy the other night. But yeah, versus Dallas, I like playing athletic bigs versus Dallas. He's still pretty cheap, 6,700 DK, 63 FanDuel. Definitely like that spot, but I'm not going to play Tatum or Brown or Kemba or Smart. They're getting back to full strength, and when Boston's at full strength, I do think it hurts. It hurts Time Lord just a little bit too. With they got Mo Wagner now. How many minutes has Mo been? His brother last night. What a disaster! Freaking, I think it's got to be his brother, right? The other Wagner.
Yeah.
I mean, he was,
yeah.
That air ball he shot with the game on the line, absolutely embarrassing. He was absolutely horrendous.
What was worse, that air ball or the one from my Florida guy that chucked up that real great shot off the rebound?
I mean, well, that one was definitely the worst shot of the tournament, that one. But this one, all things considered, to go to the Final Four, being wide open and just airballing it, that I mean was the moment was way worse for this one, because at least your dude, it was just a stupid shot. He was falling out of bounds and just threw it up to the rim. This was a butt naked open shot that he just airballed. So yeah, I mean, Mo Wagner's only played 5 minutes, so I guess you don't have to worry about him all that much. I know Cornette's been getting a little bit more run, 13 minutes both games. He's actually looked pretty good. I mean, 20 fantasy points last game in 13 minutes. But yeah, just Time Lord for me for Boston. And then the Dallas side, I mean, Luka is always going to be in play, but man, it's not the best of matchups against all these wings. If I had to pick one team to guard Luka, I mean, Boston would definitely be one of them, because all these wings, I mean, you can throw a lot of different guys at him. I can't imagine really playing Luka over a guy like Harden tonight. I mean, I know Harden's chalky and that doesn't say much, but I can't play Luka over him personally.
Yep. No, I'm with you on that. We got the chat. They're asking if Robert Ory is in the core tonight. So the chat's on fire. But we got to get those likes up, guys. We're at 913 people watching, only 346. So we love the comments, but we love the likes more. We love the subscribes more. So hit that. We also got Kendrick Nunn just got ruled out. So I don't think that changes too much, but just something to note. Title, I'll head it over to you. Is Luka a lock today? Is he someone you're jamming in your lineups in a stars and scrubs kind of build today with Marcus Smart defense?
He definitely is not a lock. Harden's the spend up if you're going to do it. I'm not sure the stars and scrub route is the best. I mean, we have Lowry out, so Siakam, Van Vliet, other solid plays in the mid tier. So definitely not a lock. I think he will be lower owned if you want to do it in tournaments. I'm with Big T though. I would find it hard to believe Luka outscoring Harden today on this matchup. I mean, it's basketball, it's tournaments. You never know what happens, but it's going to be Harden for me. The only person I'm really interested in on both sites is Robert Williams, 6.3 on FanDuel, 6.7 on DraftKings. The guy is just really good at basketball and gets a ton of rebounds, putbacks, steals, blocks. He's a fun fantasy player when he gets the minutes. So I'm going right back to him. If you need like a Dorian Finney-Smith, I know I didn't mention Justin Holiday on the Pacers, but if you need one of those punts at small forward to get in some of the other pieces, I'm fine with it. But Robert Williams, the only good play in this game.
Yep, Robert Williams definitely makes sense. And he's against those like terrible bigs, right, Tony? Like, I hate those Dallas Mavericks bigs. I do think Robert Williams could have his moment against them, right?
Definitely. This is a guy. I just keep picking on Dallas bigs. I mean, they're just these big goofy white dudes like Michigan last night. All these big goofy whiteys that just can't get nothing done in there. You guys know how much I hate these guys. There's nothing in basketball I hate more than just big goofy ass white dudes that just can't do anything but like turn and hit a hook shot or something. It caught up with Michigan last night, and hopefully Time Lord punishes these dudes tonight for Dallas.
What about Timmy? Drew Timmy?
He was impressive yesterday for sure, because I mean, Mobley is obviously a beast. He used his body. He impressed me. I give it to Timmy.
Very good footwork.
All right, well, from one goofy big man to another, let's head on over to the Toronto Raptors and Oklahoma City Thunder and talk about Aaron Baines, because he is definitely a goofy dude that does not get it done at times. He was 50% owned on Sunday, right?
51 on Michigan, the worst player you've ever seen. He was bad last night. He was real bad. I'll say that much.
Was he worse than Aaron Baines on Sunday? Because he was 50% owned and he had I think he had 4 or 5 fantasy points. He was an absolute disaster. So Mr. Aaron Baines definitely was brutal. And we're in the same spot, right? Kyle Lowry is out here. We got VanVleet, Gary Trent Jr., OG Anunoby, Pascal Siakam, Aaron Baines, Chris Boucher. All of them are going to be looked at as like strong options here against this young Oklahoma City Thunder team. They're 7.5-point favorites, 220 total. Tony, is this a game that we're firing on with all those minutes with the Raptors?
You know me and my Toronto love, so it's tough for me not to. My only worry at all is these guys have been kind of letting me down just a little bit lately. I feel like the effect has worn off a little bit with these guys. But, man, I mean, 7,700 for VanVleet and Pascal, 63 for OG, Boucher at 5K. I mean, 5K for Boucher is super
it's really cheap, especially if I don't know if people are going to Baines again. I don't think they are, but if they are, I mean, it's nice leverage opportunity.
I mean, even Baines is in play at 3,100. I mean, Toronto's just always the nuts. Like, they're just always the nuts. And I always go to them, and I'm just going to keep going to them because the prices are too cheap for the minutes they're going to play. Where'd that standings page go up? Are they, like, I know they're bad in the standings, but, like, what?
Yeah, I think they're in the back. I mean, they're still trying to make a push, but I think they're sitting out right now, if I'm not mistaken.
There's a lot of teams clumped, I think, in that, like, from like the Knicks and down. I think
you said 10 teams get in officially to like the playoff part, the bracket or whatever the hell it's called.
Yeah, it's the 7 versus the 10, and then there's 8 versus the 9.
So they're in 11th right now, and they're 5 games out of 8th.
How much are they out of the Knicks at 4? Because it's really close.
I mean, well, they're 6 back of the Knicks.
That's what I mean. So they're 6 back of the 4, which is not like a huge deal. Like
6 is a decent. I mean, when they're in 11th, that's a lot of teams to jump. Yeah, but yeah. Point being, they could still definitely make a run. They're still. I mean, they're 18-29. My poor Toronto team, 11 games below 500. That's miserable. That's way worse than I thought. But I mean, again, they're going to play all these minutes until they know their season is over, which it's not really going to be when you look at these standings when 10 teams get in there. Like, they're going to be right in that race. So, I mean, they only have one more win than Cleveland. Like, that is unbelievable, actually. That's just crazy. But, yeah, as far as just tonight, these guys are definitely in play. Gary Trent finally had a decent game. He had 38 minutes, 32 fantasy points. He's 4,700 on FanDuel. I mean, these guys are all going to be great plays. So then you need to look at the OKC side and say, you know, who can we go to on this side? Man, the other day, me and Title's bet, I had Moses. He finally laid a big stinker in there. Like, I knew I didn't have a chance right away. The dude went for, what did he finish with? 24 fantasy points, but he was 1 for 5 shooting. I mean, he's 4 for 10 from the line, 9 boards. He just wasn't very good. And he's 7,100. Not sure if you really need to go there. I'm just looking at some of the pieces. This could be another spot that I've done a bunch where I play a bunch of Toronto and no OKC guys.
Yeah, no, that's definitely something that you could see happening here in this spot. Title, just so you know, big news. Victor Oladipo is out for Wednesday and will play Thursday. So the big news has dropped with that. Let's talk about the Raptors, though, right? I got to get your take on them. They're definitely strong options. I think their guys are going to want to mix throughout your lineups. If this was a 5-game slate, people would be hammering them in. I still think people are going to get exposure to them, even on an 11-gamer. But how are you handling it?
Yeah, I mean, I have a lot of interest in them with Kyle Lowry out. They're playing, like Big T said, they're going to try and make a push for the playoffs. They're going to try and win games, play big minutes. So 7-7 for VanVleet and Siakam without Lowry. Sign me up for that. I like it. Gary Trent, OG Anunoby's been very good as of late. Chris Boucher. I mean, all these guys are in play. The thing is, how many is too many? Probably. I mean, you can make a case for 4 of them in a lineup. I'm curious to see what Big T says about that in tournaments, but cash games, I mean, you can play VanVleet, Siakam, OG, Boucher, throw Trent in that situation too. So they are all very, very strong plays on the slate without Lowry. And then OKC, I mean, they're without Shea, they're without Dort, they're without Baisley. Ty Jerome is questionable. So they also have a lot of pieces missing as well. So Svi is 4,200 on DraftKings. He's 3,700 on FanDuel. He becomes a good play. Josh Hall is all the way down there, 3,100. He's only played he's played 20 and 21 minutes the past 2 games. Hasn't done anything really, but he is 3,100. If you want to go the stars and scrubs, get Luka and Harden. He's going to get 20 minutes at least. Isaiah Roby, 5.4K. Kendrick Williams, 4.4K. So OKC needs bodies to play a lot of minutes. This is my favorite game of the night, just because you know who's going to play and you know they're going to play a lot of minutes up and down, but there's also going to be ownership coming with it. But I mean, I just named 9 guys. This is by far the best game environment on the slate.
Yep, it's definitely one of the best games on the entire slate. So many options that you can go to. Big T, is there a chance of workbench plays coming from here? Is there some guy off the bench that maybe no one's looking at? What's your kind of thoughts on some of these bench guys?
I was giving some consideration to old Josh Hall just because of he reminds me a little bit of Kyra Lewis, where he probably won't get a ton of ownership, but if he catches the right run, where Toronto could blow him out too. And all of a sudden, if this guy somehow catches extended run and gets like 28 minutes or something, like he could totally break the slate at 3,100. And he's kind of safe anyways. I mean, just like Title said, the last 2 games, 20 plus minutes, only 11 fantasy points, but I think that's probably his floor tonight in 20 minutes. I mean, if he gets you 12 for 3,100, it's not that crazy. Like, I would much rather play Josh Hall unowned than Svi at 4,200 owned. Like, I would never click that name ever at 4,200 Svi. Like, ever in a million years would I click that name. I'd shut my computer down and play a default team before I would click Svi at 4,200. I couldn't look myself in the mirror.
Tony, I gotta ask you a question here. So who is a more talented basketball player? You got to have them play on your team no matter what. Svi or Garrison Matthews? I know Title's answers. What's yours?
God. I mean, I would definitely take Garrison Matthews, but they're similar. They're super similar, obviously. Just shooters, whiteys. I would take Garrison Matthews, though.
Except Garrison Matthews has bunnies, aka he can jump. He's athletic, so but they aren't very similar.
There's not many people I would take Svi over, honestly. I'd have to think about it. He's one of the worst dudes I've ever seen. Even in college, he was terrible.
Kansas.
Yeah, so I want to get to the chat a little bit. I want to get on Title a little bit, give him a chance to defend his boy, Mr. Garrison. That was some fun stuff yesterday. We got JT in the chat. Tony, he said, no wonder the likes are down. By the way, chat, what is up? What's up with the likes? Pathetic. Like, JT is hurt. What do you think? Give us a little rundown here. We're at 399. We got almost 1,000 watching. What's your overall thoughts here on the?
Yeah, I mean, we've hit 500 consistently lately. We've been getting close to 1,000 watching, which means 500 likes. We always need to be halfway home, like we've said from the beginning. I think we'll get there. Chad will take care of us. We're still going to give out this 222 seat because of Big Dick Nick. He wants to give it away. So keep the chat coming. Click the likes. That's what we're going to do. I mean, we'll get to 500. The chat will take care of us. Click that like button.
Well, we're giving away no matter what, right? We just want to get that good mojo flowing, and we'll definitely be giving that out at the end. Also, I got to get on Beanair. Beanair said, girlfriend is gone for the weekend, so I can watch what I want. But You know what? We'll be on the TV, Big T. First of all, what was wrong with that statement, Big T? You already know the answer, but tell him.
I mean, it's not how you run your ship. I mean, if you got to ask for permission to watch something on the TV, then you just got to get out of that situation. I mean, I can guarantee you, I love the workbench. I love getting the job done. But if I'm not allowed to watch TV and stuff, I'm just going to be no workbench for the rest of time. Like, you got to be able to have a little rope in your own household.
Yeah, so I figured you got to get on Beanair for that. Title, you would agree, right? You know, you don't need to. You can watch what you want. No picnics are going down. You're definitely in on that.
Yeah, I've already had a conversation with Rubio when I saw him too. That's just unacceptable. You gotta. I mean, hey, it's a give and take, but you definitely gotta have some. If you want to watch something, you watch something.
And a picnic is, I mean, I would give up the TV before the picnic time. I mean, I would play Svi before I went on a picnic. I mean, I couldn't imagine going on a picnic.
I would pay a lot of money to see Big T just on a picnic, right? Just to watch it for an hour, just to like observe as like a viewer, like it's a reality TV show. That would be very entertaining.
I wouldn't even what do you do? Like, you just put the blanket out? Like, what do you do out on a picnic? You just sit there and like, I don't understand. Like, what do you do? Like, look at the trees? I don't understand.
It's got to be a nighttime picnic, and JT has to bring that telescope, right? Title, that's the only way you do a picnic, I would assume.
Yeah, I mean, we might have to call in Rubio sometime, give us a little explanation, because I couldn't tell you.
All right, well, that's a lot of fun there. Let's get those likes up and everything. We can't wait to give out the plays. Should be a fun time. We got to wrap it up a little bit. We got to get moving. We got the Knicks, we got the Timberwolves, and this is a game I don't really want to touch too much. Title, I'll go to you first here. What are you doing with the Timberwolves and the Knicks?
Yeah, I mean, the reason we're having fun, I mean, it's a big slate, but it's a very condensed slate on the games you're choosing from. So this falls in the category of another one I don't really have any interest in anybody. If you want to do Cat at 9-8 as a spend to be contrarian, sure. Rose at 4-8 to be contrarian, sure. But it's a game that I'm just going to avoid. There's a couple of good spots we like. I loved the last game, so nobody in this one.
All right, Big T, I'll head it over to you. Timberwolves Knicks doesn't seem like a game you're going to be too interested in.
No, I mean, Minnesota's a team I've tried to stay away from for the most part. Shorter slates like yesterday and shorter slates at times, you can go to some Minnesota guys. But, I mean, not versus the Knicks. The Knicks are actually a decent team. And the way Thibs coaches them, he gets these guys playing hard. And it's just not a spot I want to target, especially on an 11-game slate. And same thing the other way. The Knicks got a pretty deep team where even though he plays the veterans a ton of minutes, they still nothing pops off the page. I mean, Julius Randle, 9,700. There's no way I'm playing that. There's too many guards. Again, it's 11-game slate, like Title said. But one of the things I think we do good is the big slates don't overwhelm me at all, because I just eliminate spots and I just go with it where, like I said, I just pretend a lot of the stuff's not even on there. So by the time we're done with the show, I'll have my player pool down to where it's not overwhelming at all. And yeah, if news hits or something, then you backpedal and maybe put some different guys in there too. But there's really not that many plays on it. It's condensed, like Title said.
Yeah, and Joey Works in the chat. He said he would go on a picnic with who? G Risen. I think because he wants that good stuff, right? I think that's why the picnic would go down there. But
I mean,
Tony,
G Risen could do some crazy stuff, though. You might be a little concerned. You never know what he might be dabbling in some areas that you didn't know what was going on, Joey Work.
You don't know what G Risen might be packing in that picnic basket. There could be some stuff that could get you in trouble. Title, I think you could agree after hanging out with him on the weekend.
Gotta love our boy G Risen. I mean, he knows how to have some fun. That's for sure.
He definitely knows how to have some fun. It was great times with G Risen over there at the Niehaus house. Let's go on and talk about probably the biggest game of the night. One of them. It might not be the biggest, but it's definitely a big one to discuss. Utah Jazz and the Memphis Grizzlies. And we're not as much interested in the Memphis side, more so that Utah side. Mr. Donovan Mitchell, Mr. No Days Off, finally getting a day off. We got Mike Conley, Joe Ingles, two guys that are going to get massive bumps. Jordan Clarkson gets a huge bump. Tony, are you firing with all the Utah Jazz today?
I mean, I wish I had a printout of K Fallick's charts. I mean, he had the full color going. There was like blue and orange and gray and all these different dudes about, oh, this guy's got a 27.3 usage rate when this guy's on the floor. And, oh, Ingles has a 43.8 thing when he's on the floor with this guy. I mean, I wish I could print that chart off because it was freaking awesome. But yeah, I mean, it's just a simple spot. Like, Donovan Mitchell's out. Where are we going to go? We're definitely not going to Rudy Gobert because he fits that mold of number 51 from Michigan that doesn't have any skills. He's just a big, goofy dude. So definitely not playing him. Bojan, probably not going to go there. I mean, really, you're just looking at the guards, Clarkson and Conley. And, yeah, both are great plays, 58 and 5,500. I mean, what are they on FanDuel? Just as cheap? They are $5K and $6K. I mean, yes, super cheap. I mean, they're going to be
guys are just jamming in your
popular
lineup,
plays on the slate. They are favored by a decent amount, but they're cheap. I mean, they're going to be good plays for a reason. I can always fade these Utah guys, but I mean, they are safe without a doubt. I mean, they're going to get you a good, safe number. I don't know if they have like crazy high upside, but I do think they're good plays for a good reason. And Memphis the other way, never playing Memphis guys. So we can forget about that.
All right. Title, I'll head it over to you. What are you doing with these Jazz? What are you doing with these Grizzlies here?
Grizzlies, easy fade. Don't even have to waste time on that. Utah, like I said in the beginning of the show, we have Raptors, great spot. OKC and in that game. And then this spot is one of the best in the night. Clarkson and Conley are going to be two of the most popular plays on the slate on both sites. Prices are way too cheap for their role. It's good chalk and cash for sure. Sounds like Big T thinks it's pretty good chalk too. I like getting a little different by going somewhere like Joe Ingles at 5,600. No, Joe Ingles is not going to be 10% owned or something, but he's going to probably be half of what Clarkson or Conley is, or somewhere. I mean, he's definitely going to be lower owned in the same price range. So I like just mixing him in his leverage in tournaments where it's still a good play. You're just getting off some of the other chalk for less chalk in the same team as leverage. So I like that. There's Royce O'Neal at 4,200. There's Bojan Bogdanovic, 4,800 on FanDuel, 4,500 on DraftKings, or vice versa, 45 on FanDuel and then 48 on DraftKings. Rudy Gobert, 8,100 on DraftKings, 8,200 on FanDuel. All these guys are just really good plays without Mitchell. They need their minutes. I lean more of the guards in Ingles, Clarkson, and Conley, but they're going to be very popular.
All right. Tony, any final thoughts here on this Jazz? How many are too many, right? So for the tournament, guys, like how many would you put? Like what's the magic numbers? Too much?
I definitely don't think this is a spot like Toronto in these spots where you should play. Like there's no scenario I would ever play Clarkson, Conley, and Ingles together, like ever, because there's no way they all three hit a ceiling unless you like catch double overtime or something crazy where they just go crazy. But any normal environment, there's no possible way all three of these guys crush. Yeah, they could all get there, but if they all get there, you're not going to hit the upside anyway. So you don't want to play all three. Just a simple rule I've had in the past. Again, this doesn't mean it's right. This is just me. I'm not a charts. I'm not a numbers guy. I'm a feel. I'm a game watcher. When Mitchell's out, I go Clarkson. When Conley's out, I go Ingles. I think they kind of correlate. Doesn't mean it's right. That's just in my head what I do. So for me, I would rank it Clarkson, Conley, and then Ingles. But I mean, they're going to be owned that way too. So it's not like I'm not like breaking ground. That's just what I do. If Conley was out, I would put Ingles in the top play of the night for me. That's just how I do it. Just because of the ball handling and stuff where Ingles takes on more of a point guard role. But they're all three great plays. For a rule, I would definitely not play more than two though. If you play two, and I probably would play Clarkson with either Conley or Ingles and just hope one of them takes that ball handling role. I don't think I'd play Conley and Ingles together.
All right, that's the breakdown on that. Obviously, the Jazz is going to be a big part of the Run Pure Sports content, the cash charts, the core plays, all this stuff. Head on over to Run Pure Sports, sign up, use the code HEATER25 to get 25% off. That's lasting only till tomorrow. We got baseball starting up. So again, use the code HEATER25 to get in on the MLB winners. Also want to mention, head on over to our other platforms, right? We got Instagram. Go give us a follow over there and tag us with your screenshots over there. We'll repost on the story. When people say members never win, we want to make sure that they know that you guys do win and you guys do matter to us. Also, the Run Pure Sports shop is officially open. So if you're looking for that great gear that you see us wearing throughout the shows, head on over there, check out all the Run Pure gear. You can grab it there if you'd like. And then one last thing, the podcast, right? Our Run Pure podcast that we post in the mornings, the First Look pod, it's going to be turning more to a baseball one. So if you are looking for that the night before, head on over, check that out on Apple, check it out on Spotify, Spreaker, all the platforms. We got all the content you need. So subscribe over there and it'll tell you every single day when the podcasts are up and you can get all the baseball content that you need. Big T, we're going to go on over to the next game.
I got to make fun of my boy too, because this is what I do. All my favorite people in the world, Tidal and Mangone and Hoop, I make at JSU. I make fun of these people because that's what makes it fun. My man, K. Fowler, one of my favorite people. What did he just say? Let me find this.
I see it.
Need to reconsider Desmond Bain. K. Fowler, you got to get instead of the highlighter, the orange, the yellow, get a black Sharpie out and just cross straight through freaking Desmond Bain. Come on, K. Fowler. Desmond freaking Bain?
Yeah, that's not a good call, K. Fowler.
However, I will back Fallick up a little. I mean, this is why Fallick gets the 20K. I mean, he ships some things.
He's not shipping with Desmond Bain.
Yeah, Desmond Bain's not on the winner today. I'll say that.
But but he's going to be 1%. I'm just to the people listening
that's
too on
1% that isn't winning.
That's how. Hey, Phallic he has those gems. Maybe I'll reconsider it for you, Phallic. I'll take a look if that happens, but I doubt it lands on my
tomorrow,
lineup.
okay, Phallic, right, Tony? Always tomorrow.
Always tomorrow, K-Phallic. My favorite thing to tell him. Come on, K-Phallic. Always
Maybe,
tomorrow. We got golf tomorrow, K-Phallic. You got something to look forward to.
Is K-Phallic talking about Bane on the 3-game 8 o'clock slate? Maybe that's what he's talking about, Tony. Maybe that's where he's looking at him.
I mean, if it was a showdown slate, maybe you could play Bane.
Yeah. Oh, it's too good. Phallic in the chat. He will be on with JSU doing the final countdown. So listen, if you want to find out about the 0.1% play, as Sean Nizzle says, head on over to Run Pure Sports, sign up and check that out. JSU will be giving the winners, and K-Phallic will be giving Mr. Desmond Bane.
You know, another thing that's just the worst when you play NBA, when you got the Twitter up and it gives you the guy out for Thursday, like stop with the Thursday stuff. It's just terrible.
Yeah,
I'm sure it's just an automatic feed. Like when it comes through, it goes up, but still, it's just absolutely terrible. We don't care about Thursday.
No, it's DFS, right? We only care about today. And speaking of today,
although Phallic may care about Thursday, the info may be important for him playing Desmond Bane. He may want to read up on the Thursday injuries.
Yeah, that is fair. Let's head on over to this next game, and it's an 8:30 game. Then we got 2 games at 10 o'clock, and Big T, we got to talk about it, right? My boy De'Aaron Fox gets the same exact matchup, right? He gets to play against DeJounte Murray. It's a perfect spot. I mean, listen, I messed up on the play of the day yesterday. It's like, how could he not be my play of the day again, right? I have to come back with it, I feel like. I mean, it's an even better slate for him because there's not as many studs, right, that you're really looking to pay up for. He is 9.3K. It is expensive, right? But it is a good spot, I still think, for De'Aaron Fox. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I basically think the same as I thought the other day. Where the best part about it is you said he was safe, and that was the part I disagreed with. I don't think he's safe, but I do think he's a good play as far as upside. He's going to be low owned. He's in the same spot. I think he does have upside. I mean, he could definitely get you a 60 here and there. I agree with that part. That was the funny part about the whole argument we had, was I just didn't agree that he was considered safe at that price point. What is he on FanDuel? Oh, 10K on FanDuel.
He's 10K on FanDuel? No.
Whew. I mean, if you pay 10K for him, you're really getting after it. But I don't know. I mean, Sacramento is another team on a 11-game slate. Like, I can play Toronto guys or Sacramento guys. Like, who am I going to play? I'm just going to play Toronto guys. I'm going to play Utah guys and get that guaranteed. Sometimes I think people make NBA harder. I know the joke is everyone wins at NBA, but it's hard. People make it harder than it should be. Like, if you're playing Sacramento or San Antonio guys over Toronto guys tonight, you're making it harder on yourself than you have to. Just pivot in 1 or 2 spots, playing the easy plays, and I can't play Sacramento guys on this slate, not versus the Spurs.
Yeah, I'm definitely hurt by that 10K tax. I was hoping.
I mean, that is up there.
That is a lot. Like, and you, I will say, you might be right. I probably was overestimating his floor based on the price, because he was at that like 8.7, 8.9 range, and it has gone up a bit, right? Like, so it's definitely something that I probably overlooked a little there. Title, we make fun of the Spurs. We haven't really been playing the Spurs. Murray is 7K now, and Murray had a pretty good game last game, right? 43.5. Could have been better, though. Obviously, me and Tony talked about that yesterday. Are you playing any Spurs, and are you playing my boy, Mr. De'Aaron Fox?
Yeah, the thing is, I mean, these Spurs are in a pretty good spot. They have good prices, but there is better spots on the slate. I just don't know which one of these 5, DeRozan, Derek White, there's Patty Mills, there's DeJounte, Jakob Poeltl. It's so hard to find out which one of these guys is going to be the one to just blow up the slate. If I had to pick any in tournaments, I'm going with right back to my boy Jakob Poeltl. He's been 31 minutes the past 2 days. They're going to need his size against Holmes. I just love playing this guy in good matchups where they're going to need his size. There's white sides off the bench too. So Jakob Poeltl is my favorite. I like his price tag. I expect him to be very low owned. So that's my lean on the Spurs. You can play DeJounte if you want. You could play Derek White or DeRozan. The prices are fine, but there's better spots I'm going to on the slate. On the king size,
I was gonna say, Title, I think you made a great call on Pirtle, right? Like if you play a Spur, I think that's the one. It's mainly because of the price, right? I feel like I can't get killed at that price. And the matchup against Sacramento, he's been really good. And I think people underestimate what his minutes have been. But again, I don't want to touch any Spurs, and I'm probably not playing any today. But if I had to pick one, I think that's the one I'm picking.
Yep, and he's treated us well before in the past too. That never hurts the human psychology. But I like Pirtle. As far as Sacramento, don't have any interest in really anybody except Tyrese Halliburton, and I like him more on FanDuel at 5.6K. The thing is, though, he's shooting guard eligible, and that's where Van Vliet is. That's where Harden is. That's where Trent, etc. So he'll be very low owned on both sites. He has a lot of upside. I'm going to keep. I mean, you'll probably hear me say his name almost every slate until he's in the 7K range. He's a very good player, good matchup. Just had a big game last game too. So I like Tyrese at 5.6 for Sacramento.
Now, Title loves himself some Tyrese Halliburton for sure. Definitely a spot. Spurs Kings 230 total, close game. Definitely one that could get there, but I wouldn't go too crazy with those guys. Let's go Bucks. Let's go Lakers. And the Bucks are on the slate. Title's here. Are your boys going to be able to win, right? They're playing the Lakers here. They got embarrassed a little last week. They should be able to handle this Lakers team. You get Giannis versus Andre Drummond. I'm sure Tony will be able to poke fun at that a ton, but Title, I'm going to go to you first. Are you loading up on Giannis? Is this the spot to go Giannis over a guy like Harden?
Yeah, the Bucks should handle him. If they lose this game, then I'm really concerned. That's for sure. But you get 10-5 Giannis on DraftKings. I really like the idea in tournaments of going Harden, Giannis. We mentioned there's value. Throughout the board, we mentioned multiple value, OKC value. So I like the idea of pairing them both. Yes, his minutes, he's going to be low owned because people are worried about a blowout and his minutes not getting up there. But we haven't seen Giannis at 10-5 in a while. He's always in the high 10s, low 11s. So give me his upside. Nobody on the Lakers can guard him. He might only play 30 minutes, but he can get 60 in 30 minutes in this matchup. So sign me up for Giannis on DraftKings at 10-5. 11-3 on FanDuel is fine. Just because power forward isn't the best, but I don't love him. And I don't love that price tag on him. And then on the Lakers side, Andre Drummond's only 5.2K on FanDuel. It looks like he's going to start, though. It looks like Marcus Gasol is going to be out of the rotation. I saw significant minutes from a tweet referring to Andre Drummond. We saw that about Fournier too. So who exactly knows, but 5.2K Andre Drummond, sign me up if he's going to get good minutes.
All right, Big T, I'm going to head on over to you. What are you doing with Andre Drummond versus Giannis? The battle of unskilled dudes that can't shoot a basketball, Big T. So what are you doing with those two?
I remember when a couple of years ago, our buddy Dean from our old place was arguing with me that Drummond was going to start shooting threes. Oh man, the good.
I do remember that combo. Yeah,
the good old. I don't know when you said that him shooting, it reminded me of the good old days. And then the best part was he like banked in a three opening night and he thought he was right. And I don't know if he's made a three since. Now he got three different teams and everything fell apart. But yeah, 5,200. It is really, really hard not to consider give him big time consideration at that price tag. I'm glad that he's priced higher on DK at 78, just because 52. I don't really want to play him honestly, but when it's 5,200, it's just one of those things you don't really have a choice. If he plays anywhere in the 20s minutes wise, he's going to crush that tag. He's just going to get there. He's always played good against Milwaukee too. In the past, I remember a few of those games, him and Giannis went like 70 and 75 against each other type thing. So I like Drummond a lot on FanDuel. We're back to these spots. The Lakers have had, again, we've hit a bunch of bets on this show. I'm going to give another one right now because the Lakers have played a few total cupcakes in a row, Cleveland and Orlando, and people get this false sense of security with the Lakers. I'm not saying people think they're good, but now they get Drummond tonight, and Milwaukee is going to beat this team by 40 tonight. They are going to pound the Lakers. Milwaukee's been struggling a little bit. The Lakers are coming back to reality in a hurry tonight. Milwaukee, the spread's only, it looks like it's like 9 right now or something.
8.5, I see.
8.5. Like, if you want a winner to pay for your DFS tonight, first of all, sign up at Run Pure Bets to sign up for the whole site. But when this is a winner tonight, your DFS is covered because Milwaukee will blow the Lakers out tonight. You can bank on that. And Giannis,
that call. I'll say I have been pounding the Lakers like you have, and I kind of Forgot, obviously, with the Magic coming up. I was like, oh, I'm just going to stay away, but great call.
And then Cleveland, they got literally the two most cupcake matchups in the league right now, back to back. And now they get a Milwaukee team that's struggled a little bit lately. And Milwaukee's going to get right in a hurry. They're going to pound the Lakers tonight. And I do think you can play Giannis, though, in a build with Harden even. There's enough people out there where, I mean, Giannis, why is everyone saying Giannis season? Is he getting –
I wouldn't go to him. He's not – I wouldn't play him with the healthy Bucks.
Why were people saying that?
I think they were just asking if he was.
He's 3,900. He's not even min price anymore. No, I mean, and Schroeder is not interesting. Whoever said that in chat, Schroeder is definitely. He's been crushing, but this is where watching the games comes in handy. And I say strong stuff and have strong takes because I'm not afraid to, because I'm confident in our basketball knowledge that we have. If you're wrong, you're wrong. But I'm fine not even worrying about Schroeder. Yeah, he's been good the last couple. I'm not worried about it tonight. They're going to get blown out.
Drew Holiday is going to give Schroeder some problems. Don't you worry.
I'm not even remotely worried about Schroeder. If he beats me, he beats me. I'll live with it.
And this is where we talk about Josh Hall at 3.1K, where no, he's not, might not get 30 and all this stuff, but it gets you Giannis and Harden, which is going to be different. And then you can get some Raptors in Utah. So that's when we say plays like that.
And Giannis, I mean, on that build, like even say they blow him out and Giannis gets 53 or something, which isn't great. It still could be the winner with the way the slate sets up, where Harden gets you 75 and Giannis gets you 53. And then a few of your cheaper guys get you 35 or something, where it's just the roster construction. I definitely think you can play Giannis.
10-5 just seems too cheap when they can't defend anyone, and lower owned too. I like the spot a lot.
Yeah, it's a national TV game too. I know the big boys aren't there, right, for the Lakers, but still, Giannis is going to want to go out there and not get embarrassed. He's definitely been getting embarrassed a little bit lately, so he'll definitely be showing up, and he'll easily be able to show up. We got one more game left. I honestly think we can just cross it off. It's the Bulls and the Suns. 217 total title. Are we playing this game, or are we going on to the plays?
Only person I'll mention, Patrick Williams, 3.6K on FanDuel. Small forwards week. Zach LaVine is questionable too, so we might not get this news until way later. It's the last game, but Patrick Williams, even with LaVine's fine, and then he has more upside at that price point too. Otherwise, it's an easy fade.
All right, we just got the news. McDermott available, Lamb out, so that's the Pacers news. Tony, Bulls, Suns, is it a full fade?
I don't think it can be considered a full fade, and man, so you got the boy back in our life too, Troy Brown. If LaVine is out, I mean, Troy Brown is 3K, where this is another thing. We talk about it every single day on the show. But if you have the stones to backload a little bit, and you only got the two late games, and I just told you Milwaukee's going to blow out. But if you fall into it and LaVine gets out, you can play Vooch completely unowned. I mean, literally completely unowned, 1%. You can play Sato, and you can play Patrick Williams and Troy Brown. And then you know what? Maybe you run it back. You got Giannis in the late game. And then on the Phoenix side, you can always play Booker and Paul unowned. Literally all of these guys in the late games are going to be under 5% owned, like totally unowned. And there's always nights where a bunch of stuff busts. Maybe the Utah game blows out and those guys don't really crush. And then you go into these late games and all of a sudden LaVine's out and everyone's like, man, I wish I could have played Patrick Williams over some of these Utah guys and stuff like that. Troy Brown at 3K, have they played? So I got made fun of the other day with JaVale McGee, understandably. I went to it and didn't realize that he hadn't played, but has Troy Brown played a game since arriving in Chicago?
I'll take a look for you. John Wall also just got ruled out too. So
yeah, we just got big news. John Wall got ruled out. So like that's gonna obviously we have Porter starting, Sterling Brown, House, Tate, and Wood. So that's the starting five. Tony, what does that change for you with that?
13 and 16 minutes he's played for Chicago the past two games.
So he's played two. Those are two for sure that he's played.
Chicago against Spurs, and then Golden State.
I like him a lot then at 3K, because even say worst case scenario LaVine does play, he still at least has 13 and 16 minutes to where he at least gives you a path. But if LaVine is out and Troy Brown starts and plays 30 minutes, we've seen it in the past. We've seen Troy Brown get 50 fantasy points in a game. Can you imagine having Troy Brown in the late game at 5% owned at 3K with Giannis? All of a sudden, you got Giannis and Troy Brown. I guess you could even pivot almost. Like if you have Troy Brown and Giannis as your two late guys, maybe you pivot. If Levine is in, maybe I don't know the pivot off the top of my head, but whatever that is, two like middle tier guys instead or something, whatever it is. But I like the Troy Brown a lot, Sato a lot. But back to the Houston thing, yeah, I think Porter Jr. becomes a very, very strong play. Wood is starting. Very, very strong play for Wood against Brooklyn. Sterling Brown, I can always find a spot for him. If you think this game stays close, I think a lot of these guys are going to have to play good. Even Daniel House. I mean, I don't know. I think all those guys are a lot better plays with Wall out.
Yeah, I think I agree on that. Title, give me your final breakdown here with Wall being out.
Kevin Porter is going to be one of the chalkier plays on the slate. Very good chalk, hard to avoid it. Christian Wood, like his price more on FanDuel, but yeah, good play on both sides. Then you got the guys like Sterling Brown, Jayshawn Tate, Daniel House, all those guys that they're going to get more shots. They're going to play more minutes, a bigger role. So, yeah, I mean, don't know off the top of my head for sure. I know it's those guys. We'll be in Discord breaking it down. JSU will be talking about it with Mr. Charts and Holden on the premium show too. So we'll have you covered. Top of the head, Porter Jr. lock, Christian Wood, great play, and then the other secondary guys.
Yep, use that code HEATER25 to get 25% off to check out that show. I also think DJ Augustine off the bench at 3.8, not the worst idea. Someone you could look at. We got to dive into it more and look at the Discord and see, because it's the Nets, right? It's a good spot to attack, so we're going to want to load up on these guys. Brown, Tate, all of them. They're all good plays. We got to get the likes, got to get them subscribes, flow them in there. We're definitely going to give away, that ticket. We're also going to give away the plays of the day. Tony, do you want to do the ticket first? Do you want to do the plays first? What's the move here?
Yeah, let's do the plays. I'll find somebody in here.
All right, so Tony, you're going to find someone. We'll do the plays of the day. I'm going to go first, and listen, I got to go back to it, right? I got to go back to my boy, Mr. De'Aaron Fox, as someone that I like to go as a spend-up option who has a really nice ceiling here. Do you think that he is someone that you can go to? I haven't dove into it too much, but I think DJ Augustine could be an intriguing one if you're looking for a cheapie. But my guy's De'Aaron Fox right now. He's definitely a contrarian spend-up option that I think I want to go to be a little bit different. That'll be my dry hump play of the day. We'll go over to TitleTown. Title, the people are waiting for it. They want your SO play of the day, so give it to them. Who is the SO play?
Yeah, it's pretty tough. I'm debating two guys. One is a Rocket, and I'm not sure about the ownership there. So I'm gonna go back to my boy Jakob Poeltl. Last time I played him, he got one of the winners home for 100K too, just over Big T. So I like this spot for Jakob Poeltl. 31 minutes the past two games. They need his size in this matchup. No one's going to play him on this slate. So love Jakob Poeltl with a lot of upside.
All right. We got in the chat someone saying, I think it's William. He's saying me. Like, listen, William, that's not going to get it for you. Big T likes people who, they say something funny. They say something that gets the good mojo going. That's just not going to get it done, just so you know. So I want to let you know for future reference, not your best attempt, but you can get it next time, I'm sure, with a better attempt. Big T, are we doing the ticket first? Are we doing the workbench play? What do we want to do?
Yeah, I mean, Title gave that winner last time, Poeltl. That was a 100K YouTube thing he gave out to the dude that took me down with it. He beat me with it. The freaking Title owning me on the court, giving winning plays out, costed me 70 extra K. Title's just abusing poor Big T. But the winner of the 222 seed, I looked through. I didn't see anything that totally stuck out, but we got one dude that's always in the chat, always getting the job done, representing, good mojo, some funny takes. Our boy Cesar Martinez, good dude, 222 ticket from Big Dick Nick. One of them said the best way to know if your girlfriend's a keeper is to give her the door test, the Bronx Tale. Another thing he said, Big T's cores are fire. I just can't pick Ja anymore. He's got a bunch of takes in there. Cesar Martinez, you are winning the 222. I guess send us if you're in Discord, send it straight to Big Dick Nick in there, but we'll figure it out. Get in the Discord with us. We'll figure out how to get you this 222 ticket. As far as the workbench play, man, I'm down to a few guys too. It was a little tougher today just because, man, I am tempted to go back to my boy Troy Brown. The last time I gave him as a workbench, He got us a donut though, and it hurt my feelings. It was a dry bench that night. It was
Very hurtful.
If I knew for sure Levine was going to go out, I would definitely go with Troy Brown in that game. But just for the sake of the show, I'm not going to go there. I'm going to give you a play that is for sure a good play. I mean, I looked at Boucher for a minute. I looked at Wood for a minute. Who do I want to go with? This is going to shock people too, because I played him the other day in my core. It's a guy that I would never put in here. And I didn't really talk about him on the show either, which I like to do to kind of hide the workbench. But my man DeJounte the other day, he was at 30 at halftime. I thought he was going to crush in this matchup. I love picking on Sacramento. No one is playing DeJounte Murray tonight at 7K on DK, 7,600 on FanDuel. No one's playing him. He's going to be under 5%, which should be what we want from the workbench. I think he crushes for a 50 piece against Sacramento. So I'm going to go with DeJounte Murray tonight.
Man, Big T going with a Spur as the workbench play, something you didn't expect to see today. But hey, crazy things can happen on the Run Pure Sports NBA Hardwood show. But we got to get on out of here. We got K-Falcon, we got JSU coming up on the final countdown show. Thanks a lot for joining us, Caesar. Hit up Big T, hit up me, hit up Nick, all of us. Well, we'll make sure to get this going for you. But that'll wrap it up for us. Thanks a lot for joining us. Join us at 11 a.m. with TitleTown, Draft Cheat, and Holden for the MLB Swing for the Fences opening day show. For me, Mango and Title, and Big T, see you later.
Good luck, everybody.